welcome to the second episode of Bariatric Banter. And it's going to be a spicy one today. But hey, Steph.
Hey, Hannah. Thanks for coming back, everybody.
I know, I can't believe we're on episode 2. This is pretty exciting. How was
I'm
your
pumped.
week?
Yeah. You know what? It's so good to have the kids coming off of holiday break, have the kids back in school, have some
Nice.
routine back, get the normalcy back. It's been great. We're back into
Love it.
activities, the swimming lessons, the gymnastics. Getting back into the swing of things has been so good.
I dig it. I think that's pretty awesome. My whole company is at an offsite that I couldn't go to because of pneumonia, but means that I have a super quiet week. So I'm not
Which
even
is
complaining.
super nice.
So nice in the third week of January to just be like, yeah, nobody's
Right?
here to bug me. Leave me
Get-
alone.
Get your stuff done, catch up on things that you couldn't get done earlier.
Yep.
That's a great feeling.
Super good feeling. We're about to open a can of worms with this episode, I think. And
I can't wait. We're going to ruffle
so
some
pumped.
feathers big time.
I'm so excited. It's our second episode and it's like, cool. Well, we got to 2 and then everybody told us to fuck off and we're done. But
we tried.
Bariatric Banter podcast is now finished after 2 episodes. But this week we're talking about influencers in the space. Now, oh boy, there's going to be good in here because we're not going to try to be that podcast that's just not happy about things.
No.
But there's going to be a lot that we think needs to change. And just a lot of problems that we have with this space as well. Not major problems, but things that, like, come on, guys. Let's do better.
And if you're somebody who's just researching bariatric surgery, things to be aware of.
Yes.
And keep your eyes open to. Definitely things that I was not aware of when I was first researching that definitely either got me down rabbit holes or skewed my view on things until I realized the truth behind a lot of them.
Exactly. And that's the lens that we're taking this from is we were researching, we relied on you. Here's what we'd kind of like to see you do differently because it either didn't help us or kind of enraged us a little. And typically influencers get a lot of smoke blown up their ass. And maybe it's kind of nice to hear some constructive criticism because I think we can all grow and learn. So with that being said, we might as well dive into episode 2 of the Bariatric Banter podcast, Influencers in the Bariatric Space.
Let's do it.
Oh boy. So
because there's so many.
Which might even in itself be a problem. There's a lot of American ones as well. So we will give a shout out to some great Canadian ones, but come on, Canadians, let's step it up and become bigger in the space. Maybe you need to be on TikTok more. I don't know, but I'm so tired of just seeing Americans. Like, let's get more Canadian representation. Come on. All the
more things that we can relate to because there are, like you said, there's so many Americans out there, which is great. They definitely helped me during my research, but I couldn't relate to their programs, the products they're using, the places they're shopping when they're doing their grocery hauls. It's great to get an idea, but I would love to see more Canadian content creators where I can more closely follow them when they do their grocery hauls, for example, because those are products I can get here.
Yeah, they're actually going to order from websites that we can order from. We're not driving 2 hours to Michigan to spend 700 Canadian dollars to get like a Trader Joe's haul. Like, I do all that and I will always share my US haul with you guys, but it's not realistic in the winter. It's likely not going to be realistic for the next 4 years, given what's going on with, all that jazz. But I would like to just see more. This is what's available here because we can't even get the goddamn like bariatric vitamins that you guys have here. So sometimes it is a bit frustrating where I'm like, well, fuck, what's the Canadian equivalent to that? And you know what? We do have great equivalents to that. And maybe if we have a little surge in some great Canadian influencers in this space, maybe Costco will start bringing in more of the great shit that they sell in the States because they already are. The nuggets
flirting. They're starting.
The nuggets are here, folks, and the nuggets are good.
And some Built Bars.
Yeah, we have Built Bars now.
We're starting to slowly see it, but a surge, an increase would be great.
Yeah.
So let's go, Canada.
Apologizing for the coughing. I am overcoming pneumonia. But yeah, let's, we're just going to start this one out hot and heavy. Here we go.
Yeah, let's go.
lack of eating is a huge issue that you and I have been talking about recently.
Yeah.
It runs rampant in the bariatric community, and you heard us say last week we're going to do a whole episode on eating disorders in this space because eating disorders really become like a huge problem in the bariatric community. And it's once we cover that topic, I think it's easy to see how and why. But my problem with influencers in this space is the lack of eating.
100%.
We follow a lot of the same ones, and you and I almost immediately reached out to each other at the exact same moment when an influencer in our space posted a video. And this video basically showed that they didn't eat anything all day. They literally were drinking. And I'm not going to out the influencer because it's not important. And I don't believe they deserve any type of hate for this. But basically, it was like, I'm going to drink a protein water. I'm going to drink a protein shake. I'm going to drink a coffee. And then I'm going to have 2 bites of something and call it lunch. And then I'm going to go drink more protein shakes. And then I'm literally going to eat 2 or 3 bites and call it dinner and call it a day. And Steph and I were both just kind of like, what the fuck? And we had never seen this before from this influencer.
No, it was a drastic change in their typical behavior.
We were both really disturbed because the big thing you're told during surgery is the Canadian clinic anyway that we went to was really like anti-protein shakes. You could use them, but don't use them every day. You need to get all your protein from whole foods. And they really push that.
They're a one-off.
Yeah, they're like in an emergency, in a pinch. Now, do I drink one every day? Yes, I fucking do. But the big thing was like whole foods, whole foods, whole foods. You will not be successful drinking because it leads to binge eating, overeating. It's not sustainable to just be living on liquid.
You don't absorb it the same way either. Your body absorbs the protein from drinking a lot faster than from a whole food. So it's not going to sustain you. In a pinch, yes. Or like you said, have I been having protein coffee every day? Yes.
Yeah.
Because for me, we'll talk about this in another podcast too, but it helps with my vitamins. It really helps with the nausea of my vitamins. So have I done it? For sure. If I have a really busy afternoon out with the kids, do I pack one? Yup, because it's better than going to McDonald's. But the whole thing of I just had protein shakes and protein bars all day. And then, like you said, 4 bites of food. That is, number one, not sustainable. And number two, not the example that you should be setting for the bariatric.
Exactly. And the fact that we were both so concerned when we saw it probably says everything it needs to say. But I just remember thinking, you basically ate probably less than half a cup of food. I'm deeply concerned that you're promoting drinking. And it's not to say like Profi is bad, because like I genuinely love my protein coffee. I have it because it's an easy way after the gym to get my 30 grams of protein in 30 minutes in. It takes me longer than 30 minutes to drink it, but it's still like, it's great. And I think it's a healthy, normal part of the bariatric journey.
Yes.
But I'm very tired of seeing influencers drink 80% of their day and then barely eat. I don't think there's any award you should be given for that. I don't see any clinic that has advised you that that's normal. The liquid diet we are on before surgery is for medical reasons ahead of surgery.
And
it's
for
not
a short period of time. It's not an everyday thing. That's the thing. It's not sustainable.
No. And the reason we didn't like unfollow this influencer or go ham on this influencer is we were like, something's going on. Whether it's like a fear of regain or just a bad week, like something is clearly going on. It does. But
as we said, they should that video then should not have been posted. It should have just or explained and been transparent about it. Look, guys, I'm having a rough day, or this is what's going on. But to choose that particular video as an example of what I eat in a day, in my opinion, was bad taste.
And dangerous, because a lot of people follow this influencer and a lot of people get all their recipes and advice, and like they are super big in the industry.
I've been following her for years, even before surgery.
100% before surgery. Yeah. And I was like, I just think that's really dangerous that you shared that. I think as an influencer, influencers seem to think that they're not held to higher standards, but they are. You are, the influence is in the name of your job. You influence others. You can't be ambiguous. You can't assume that they're going to
No.
understand that you shouldn't do this all the time, because some susceptible person is going to look at this and go, oh, so I need to barely eat and drink all of it. Like, that's what I need to do. And so
they're going to look at her and say, she's been so successful. She's lost over 200 pounds. If this is what she's doing, well, then shit, I'm going to do it too.
I need to do it too.
And
dangerous.
It's dangerous. People don't know any better. If you look at people who are just starting out on their journey, they come across that video, they think, well, shit, I can drink protein shakes all day. And these are the habits they're going to fall into, which are going to be super hard to break. And then that's where the eating disorders come in. And the rabbit hole it creates is just so dangerous.
So dangerous. So again, we were just really disappointed to see this. And it was a trend that we then started seeing a ton of influencers do. And I was like, I am not a fan of this lack of eating. And again, it could have just been like but put a disclaimer, okay, and say, this is not what my normal week looks like. This was a week where I wasn't feeling good, or I was really stressed, or, be honest, I'm scared of regaining.
I dropped the ball on meal prep this week.
And this is what it was. Or go back and be like, guys, I looked at that video and you know what? It wasn't, don't do that, or just do that once in a while. But like, you don't need to not eat to be successful. And so that's a big fucking problem in this space, is this notion of eating the least amount of food makes you the best bariatric patient.
It's not a badge of honor.
How are you eating 1,200 calories, 2 years post-op? That's terrible. It's not, though. That's literally
it's real food.
Where it says in our guidelines from our clinic that is where you're supposed to be at this stage post-op. And for life, you're supposed to be between 12 and 15. That's just where you're supposed to be.
Real food has calories, guys. That's how it is. Your body needs the calories to burn throughout the day. Yes, we need to make healthy choices. And yes, we need to watch what we're eating. And yes, we need to focus on protein.
Yeah.
But you need calories. And protein bars and protein drinks are low calorie for a reason.
Yes.
They are not enough to fuel your body. It is not a badge of honor to say, I only had 600 calories today because all I drank was 3 protein shakes and a Built bar.
Fucking terrible.
No. Fail.
Yep. And
sorry.
Absolutely terrible. And then it's not where you're supposed to be that far out. And again, drink what you want to drink. We don't give a fuck if you want a protein shake, because we both have them. Have them.
Yeah.
But please don't give up real food because you have this notion that it has been proven scientifically and medically that if you just drink your calories, you will always end up binging and overeating. It is not sustainable. And then you kind of have to ask yourself, the exercise that people are supposed to be doing after surgery is at least 30 minutes every day, but you can't drink all of your calories and then be like, well, I went for a 20-minute walk.
No.
Okay, but where's the strength training you're supposed to be doing? I think you're maybe supposed to be working out a little bit more, but you don't have enough energy or fuel in your tank to do that. And it will catch up with you eventually that all you have. And that was the big thing about this video. There was no real, there was minimal real food. There was no vegetables or carbs.
No.
It was just processed, with the exception of the 2 bites at lunch and the 2 bites at dinner. I was like, oh my Jesus Christ, there's no carbs, there's no fruit, there's no vegetables.
No. And if this is the habit you get in, then let's look a couple months down the road when you realize, or somebody finally talks to you and you need to work real whole foods in there. You can't tell me that you're not going to be terrified, because you've been living on such low calories, such little food, that then when it comes time to do it properly, look at the disorders that are going to come up, because you are going to be so afraid to touch that food. The mental challenges that you're going to have to make those changes to your habits, it's going to be a big challenge for you moving forward.
Really big uphill battle. And again, we absolutely love this person, and in no way do we hope to offend them.
I still follow her and watch her.
Oh my God, I watch her all the time. But we're just saying, can you realistically look at that and admit that if you knew people who had surgery and they told you that's what their everyday looked like, you wouldn't be concerned for them and you wouldn't speak out and say you need whole food. And that's all we're saying is that one day is fine, because we truly don't believe that's your everyday. But you need to say that, because people on the internet infer everything.
They believe what they see. And as somebody watching it, you need to be wary of things like this and not believe everything you see. Question
everything
what
you see.
And
question
watch
it.
other people too to say, okay, is this normal?
Yeah.
This seems a little off. Question it.
And that's like, there's nothing wrong with protein drinks and bars, but my rule is I try to only have one. If I'm going to have a protein bar, I try not to have a protein shake. I don't have multiple protein because, again, I'm trying to get it from Whole Foods. I love having a Built Bar as a dessert in the microwave. It's fucking legendary. If you haven't done it, guys,
had it
fucking
last night.
do it. So good. But in the early days, I had to supplement with all of that. But now that I'm 2 years post-op, I really aim to have a meal plan that does not rely on needing the protein items to get there. They're great. They're great for a road trip or when I'm tired after the gym or like I just fucking love chips and I just want Quest chips. I fucking love Quest chips. But I can't have a day where I have 7 protein added items to get me where I need to get because at the end of the day, they're not filling. They usually don't have the carbs or the fiber that I need. Like, and we're not judging, but we're just saying like
there's other options out there.
There's a reason you should be aiming for like 80% of your protein to come from Whole Foods.
Yeah.
It's more
There's
filling.
other options.
Yeah.
There's other options.
So if you're having a bad restriction day, which we all have, then maybe just fucking admit that, please. Because like we were all pretty concerned. And I think it's a really shitty look for such an experienced influencer to think that that was normal. And we both came to the conclusion that we think that it was because they were pushing their fucking affiliate brands. And there's nothing wrong with making money being an influencer. Get that bag. Get that fucking cheddar. Like, I'm fine with that. But do not fake a day because you need to push brands that are supporting you. I'm tired of seeing influencers go, and I start my day with AG1 greens, which, like, do your research on AG1. It's terrible.
As they're holding it up, like, all nice in front of the camera with their beautiful cup and their beautiful shaker. I love to start my day with my greens. Like,
first of all, they've been debunked as being needed. Second of all, there's a ton of people that have sued them for liver failure, but I digress. Oh, here's my AG1. And then after my AG1, I have a giant Profi where I put my Clean Simple Eats, which every influencer seems to be using, by the way. Everybody's using Clean Simple Eats in my protein coffee. And then after that, I'm going to grab this protein water from this brand. And then I'm going to have a Built Bar. And that, like, stop. I don't need to see a day where you fit 52 affiliates into your day and pretend that's what you eat in a day. Like, just nobody cares that you're making money. Nobody cares. There's such more natural ways to be like, hey guys, don't forget, like, I'm a Built Bar ambassador. So if you want a discount on it, they're my favorite bar. I eat them a few times a week. Here you go. But don't give me these fake what I eat in a days that
they're commercials.
Like, are just insane to me. Just insane. So sorry, that got me all hot and bothered. But like,
but it's true. And there are some influencers out there who are great at being transparent.
Oh my
saying
God.
Flat out, they mark their videos as paid partnerships. They're very
that annoys
open,
me when you don't mark it as an ad.
They're very open when they're saying, here's my code. Yes, I'm an affiliate. Yes, they sent me boxes of them. Do I love them? 100%. Do I eat them? You betcha. But I'm an affiliate. And I have no problem with that. We all want to make money. We all want to pay our bills. But like you said, it's when they're eating 3 of them a day and they're making the like fake commercials from their car that they're out. I was out running errands and I'm so busy, but what's really convenient? My Built Bar. And I just happen to have it in the car with me. You know what? Am I going to take a snack with me this afternoon when I go run errands and do grocery shopping? 100%. It's normal. I get it. But it's the way you come across it. And like you said, the Clean Simple Eats, these brands that taste like total shit. Yeah. And so many people are falling for them and buying them. Or once you actually look into them, the macros are garbage. But people just say, again, they say, oh my gosh, this influencer has been so successful. This is what they're eating. Take my money.
I got to buy it. I'm going to give a shout out to an influencer right now. There's an influencer from Canada. She's called eating.vsg on Instagram. I think she's doing it right. I have to say,
she's awesome.
One of my favorites. She literally posts a photo of everything she ate in the day. She breaks down the macros and items in it. She's super humble and honest when she's like, I have days where I don't track and here's what I had. Oh, by the way, I actually only ate half of what you're seeing pictured here. Like, he probably doesn't realize how much she immensely helped me in my journey because I looked at her page and went, Oh my God, she had a cookie. Oh, she's having a built. Oh,
What?
she had cheddar broccoli popcorn. Like, I remember seeing this and going, oh my God, Mom, I can do this. Like, I can do this.
Yeah.
Look at this Canadian. Look at what she's eating. And I said, oh, look,
It's real food.
she's 2 years post-op and she's averaging 13 to 1,500 calories, which is exactly what I was told to do. Look, she's running. She's a runner. And like, she's been so fucking successful in this.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved like, you know how we complained in the first episode about, oh, I love that you keep it real. This is an example of keeping it real.
Actually
she
real.
literally just shows you what she eats and it's normal. She's had pasta. She has Built Bars. She has popcorn because like I have a dirty fucking crutch for popcorn.
No, I can't
she
wait
has like, she went on vacation and said, I had fish and chips. Like, anyway, great example of someone who's just breaking it down and being honest, is super fucking successful with her weight loss, which is just incredible. And is a runner and like, just again, one of my favorite influencers to follow for that reason. But I think she's an affiliate from Built too, and you wouldn't fucking know because she doesn't shove it down your face.
Right. But I think you also made a good point there, which we want to chat about, which is where she shows what she plates and then she shows what she eats.
Yes. Or tells you. Like, she'll tell you in the comments, here's how much of this I ate.
Yes. Because again, it's another one of these bariatric badges of honor to either not eat a lot or say that they don't feel it's appropriate to show what they ate. No, I'm sorry. As somebody who's new to this whole journey and who's 10 weeks out and who, as we talked about in the last episode, doesn't always get a lot of guidance from programs around how much should I be eating, what portion size should I be at right now, how many calories should I be at right now. I want to have something to compare myself to. And I know a lot of these people will say, well, I don't want to post it because we shouldn't be comparing ourselves to others. I'm sorry, I call bullshit on that. I want to know where I fall in the realm of everybody else right now. Am I under eating? Am I overeating? Am I eating the right things? I don't know. So show me. I want to see. And I'm sorry, but the accountability is on me to then say, okay, this person is 3, 4, 2 years post-op. I'm only 10 months.
Yes.
Realistically, should I be eating the same portion as them? No. But it gives me a starting point and a comparison point to say, okay, if she's plating half a cup and a quarter cup and this, I can look at that and say, okay, so I should probably cut that maybe in half for myself. But it gives me somewhere to start. So this not posting what I ate. And then for all we know, they're plating this plate of food and eating none of it.
None of it.
Or eating all of it and then some. We don't know.
We don't know.
So show me what you ate. Let me compare myself to other people. Let me have some way to know where I sit in the realm of what I should be doing and show me.
Yep. I'm tired of like, the excuse is, oh, the reason I'm not going to show you how much I ate of what I ate in a fucking day is because you might not be where I'm at in my journey.
Right.
First of all,
I don't want you to feel bad.
Fuck off. Like, if you're going to plate, I'm 6 years post-op from bypass, here's what I eat in a day, then you better show what I plated versus what I ate. And I don't, there's no reason to not show me how much of that you actually ate.
No,
unless it's because you're not eating it. And people are going to give you shit and say, it's not okay that you're not eating food.
That's not
like
healthy.
You're barely eating and that's not healthy. There is someone who labels themselves as a fucking nutritionist for bariatric patients. Did the work, obviously, but because they were a bariatric person, decided to go into this. And I think that's cool because I would like to do that. And they do what I eat in a day and will never show what they actually ate. And I think that's so unhealthy and so fucking manipulative. I get really upset about this because you need to show people. This is a huge part of bariatric surgery. This is huge.
Right?
Knowing, am I overplating? Is it normal to not eat it? Is it normal to eat the whole plate? Yes, you need to start showing people that it's fucking normal to eat the whole serving. It's not okay for you to allude to the fact that maybe you ate this or maybe you didn't. And I just do not and will not get on the bandwagon. Don't do a what I eat in a day then. Don't do it.
Right.
Because what is the point in doing it?
There isn't one.
And the thing is, if you're going to post a what I eat in a day and you don't tell me that here's how much of it I ate. I assume you ate the whole thing. And I know a lot of you aren't. And so now you're telling people that this is totally normal to eat all of this and to have these portion sizes, and they're going to go copy you, not be as successful as you because you're not actually eating all of that, which, by the way, is an eating disorder. Like you're not being truthful. You're being super fucking manipulative.
Slimy. So slimy. And
super
I know
slimy.
The thing that I'm going to say this and you're going to just go off. I know it. But the other thing that goes kind of hand in hand with this is what I eat in a day. And then when they say, let me show you how I made it. Let me give you the recipe. Let me post the recipe. You know exactly
I know where you're
what
going.
I'm going to say.
Yep.
And then give you zero nutrition information on the recipe or what they made. So, okay, you say it's high protein. Is that 10 grams? Is that 20 grams? Okay, maybe it is 20 grams of protein, but does it have 600 calories in it? Because then that's not happening. It drives me bonkers. I'm going to try
not to fucking get stressed out by this. This is a bigger issue to me than the what I eat in a day sham, by the way. I'm going to call it what it is. What I eat in a day is a fucking scam. It's to make people feel better about themselves. A real what I eat in a day literally shows you what I plated, what I ate, what I plated, what I ate. And it also shows all the stuff that they ate in between those meals if they did. So I'm calling it what I eat in a days are fucking scams for the most part. But what annoys me more is exactly this. I'm so tired of seeing super high protein, unbelievably healthy meal that you can make in 30 seconds. And there's no nutritional information. And then top 5 comments are, what are the macros? Can I get the macros? No, I don't really look into that. Like, trust me, it's like really high protein.
Right, but we're going to call it healthy with having no idea how many calories it is or how much fat is in it or what the carbs are. But it's healthy.
And 9 times out of 10, because Steph and I have now started, and this might be a whole thing that we start doing on social, Steph and I have started breaking down the macros. We've gone in and said, okay, fuck you. We'll do the work for you. And it's terrible, guys.
8 out of 10 times, they're not high protein or healthy.
They're horrible for you. No. So again, what Steph said earlier, you need to be your own best friend and do your own research. You better go and run those goddamn macros through fucking MyFitnessPal. And I'm going to give you, here's the example I'm going to give you. This was the post that kicked this all off. Somebody shared a breakfast that they said
high protein breakfast.
Yeah, and she's a dietitian or she's lost all this weight, which also, by the way, a lot of influencers who claim they've lost a lot of weight are lying and using it because it boosts the algorithm. You'll notice they go, I've lost over 100 pounds and here's what I eat. What happens if you mix and they all start their videos the same way? So this person was like, here's this super high protein, amazing breakfast that has all this flavor you won't believe. It's going to be your morning masterpiece. It's guys, it's going to be so good. It tastes just like cheesecake. And what started this conversation was I said to Steph, if there's no cream cheese in this fucking recipe,
not cheesecake.
It's not going to taste like fucking cheesecake.
No.
Christ.
And there was none in it.
No cream cheese in it. It's got fucking dates and all this shit. And I sent it to Steph and I said, there's no fucking way this is high protein and healthy. There's not a fucking chance. The recipe is cottage cheese, Greek yogurt, a fuckload of maple syrup, vanilla, dates, hazelnuts, heavy whipped cream. And I was like, this is not a healthy meal. So of course,
it has some protein.
Everybody is posting, what are the macros? What are the macros? What are the macros? And nobody would answer. So I, doing the Lord's work over here in Canada, I went in and said, I wish when people posted recipes, they were required to post the macros if they're claiming to be nutritionists and they're claiming this is healthy. This recipe has almost 567 calories. Guys, the serving size of this is like a quarter cup, might I add. 567 calories and only
that's my whole day.
Only 16 grams of protein. Only 16 grams of protein. And it had over 36 grams of pure fucking sugar. And that's not fruit sugar. That's fucking added sugar.
Maple sugar.
People were kind of like very happy to be like, thank you so much for posting this because this is not healthy. This should not be breakfast. And that's my argument. In no way should this be breakfast. This should be a dessert and don't pan it as healthy because it has some protein. 16 grams of protein, 43 grams of carbs, 527 calories, and 36 grams of sugar is not a fucking healthy breakfast.
It's the same. it goes along with, like, we were talking about protein coffee and how we both have protein coffee, and that's good. And certain influencers out there who have become, we'll say, famous because of their protein waters and protein coffees that they started with, which is great. But what gets me, and I have always had a sweet tooth. I still do have a sweet tooth, but it has changed post-surgery. It's not as sweet. I think I want sweets, but then when I have something that's sweet, I can't finish it. My coffee has drastically changed, but I digress. Anyway, the people who make these protein coffees, and you see them get out their flavorings and their water packets and their sugar-free syrups. And I swear like 3/4 of the coffee is sugar-free syrup and sugar-free, like the sugar-free flavorings, I should say. And then the syrups around the edge, and then the foam, and then the this. And I'm thinking, you're literally having 1/4 of it in coffee and then chemical.
Because they just do an espresso shot.
Right. Do I put sugar-free flavor in my protein coffee?
Sure.
I do.
Sure.
But I put, depending on the size, 1, maybe 2 pumps. Or instead of that, a little bit of stevia. But not really. It blows my mind now watching some of these and just like the pump. Or like, they make the flavored, like, I'll drink flavored water again.
Sure.
I can't drink 3/4 of the ones I used to like. I can't
I hate them now.
I can't even taste like 2 sips and I'm out.
Ugh.
But I will take my 40-ounce water bottle and I'll put a packet in. Maybe a packet and a half, depending on the flavor that it is.
Sure.
Maybe. But then you see these influencers with their 40-ounce cup, and I check because I want to know comparison again.
I want to know the size.
They're putting the sugar-free pumps, like 4, and then 2 water packets. Or 3 water packets.
On top of that.
I can't. Like,
the taste for me, I don't know how they do it. I don't know if they're predisposed to it because they drank so much pop.
Oh my gosh, I don't know.
Much Diet Coke before surgery. But I can't, like, the taste of stevia and the fakeness is disgusting to me.
The amount of chemicals.
The only thing I like is my powdered Gatorade, 0, or I can do the iced tea. The Crystal Light iced tea, for some reason, hits like a motherfucker for me now. And I love it.
That's mine.
But this is my problem with that. Listen, I don't want to yuck anyone's yum. You do what you like to do. But my problem is you will restrict carbs. You won't eat fruit. You won't eat real food. But
you
then
won't have bread.
Yeah, you won't have bread or any, but you'll sit in front of people and you'll put 1,000 pumps of syrup, because most of them average 4 to 5. Then you'll put the sugar-free caramel all over the inside of the cup. Then you'll do your scoops of protein, your minimal espresso shot, and then you're going to top it with like cold foam creamers and heavy whipping
more
cream.
Flavoring in it.
That's all flavored, but you won't eat real carbs or fruit and vegetables or real food. And I just think like the protein coffee movement and even the water has gotten ludicrous. Like, I don't quite understand that. I do understand that if I have a Crystal Light, I actually drink more of it. So I do understand that like there's something about the juicy flavorness that gets you drinking it.
But then don't judge the other stuff.
I in no fucking way could imagine 3 Crystal Light packets and 4 pumps of like fake, like bubblegum, cotton candy, strawberry syrupy stuff just to drink my water. I
would vomit. I would probably shit my pants.
Yeah. I would absolutely be out in public shitting my pants, taking all that in. I'd have a headache from that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
and like
get
you said, if that's what you like and that's what does it for you,
sure,
go bananas.
Do
fun. It up.
Knock
but then don't
off.
sit there and have your lunch and dinner and say that, your family is having XYZ, but you can't have it because it has carbs, or you can't have it because it's bread, or you can't have it because of this.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, but that doesn't fly with me.
No, welcome to the high horse that you need to be knocked off of. Like, the reason we're shitting on this is not because we care what you put in your body, but we're saying typically you, 1,000 pumpers, you shit on carbs and fruits and vegetables and other things, but then you go and have this and think that you have any platform to stand on to say, don't be eating bread, don't be eating carbs. Oh my goodness. The other thing my clinic taught me, I mean, it's our clinic, they would rather you just have the sugar in moderation than to be having all of
Yeah.
the artificial sugar.
Real foods.
That was a really
Real
big thing.
foods.
They were like, try to avoid, like, also sugar-free does not mean healthy. Let's just
No.
rip that Band-Aid. High protein
Yep.
does not mean healthy.
Yep.
Sugar-free does not mean healthy. Keto sure
Yep.
as fuck does not mean healthy. A lot
No.
of these things will pump what they're doing full of other things to get it to be low sugar or no sugar. So our clinic said it's actually healthier to just do the real, like the
Yeah.
real full fat or the real sugar,
In
just
moderation.
moderation. And so I buy flavored
100%.
coffee. I just get flavored coffee. I have a hazelnut
Me
coffee.
too.
I have an eggnog coffee.
Yep.
Cute. That's really
Yep.
all I need. But I like even drinking. So my Profi is as follows: flavored coffee, and then a container of Premier Protein. And even that Premier Protein, I'm like, fuck, this flavor is just hard to get down. The artificialness of it, that like I could not imagine adding pumps of fake sugar and all this shit
No.
to it. And like, I get it. You're trying to replicate what you used to have before, you know, your Starbucks or whatever. I
Yep.
just kind of worry that like, is it really setting you up for success? I don't know if you like, does everything have to be that sweet? Is there an issue here? Like when I joined the program, I committed to the 10 grams of sugar, added sugar or
Yep.
less per meal. And I've done exceptionally well with it. And now I don't really crave sweet things. Fruit does not count. You should be eating fruit. Fruit has a lot of fiber. Now, obviously, don't go and eat 7 bananas and 6 apples in a day, but you should be
Yep.
eating a banana or an apple or an orange. Like fruit is not the enemy. And that's the other fucking hilarious thing is the people who do have these outrageous coffees and waters will be the first to be like, you shouldn't be eating that much fruit. Do you know how high in sugar that is? I would rather eat fruit
Right.
than half a cup of artificial shit.
Yeah.
And I just like, just drink the fucking water. Like just drink
100%. Yeah.
I don't like, and adding the sprinkles and the dust and like, again, do what you need to do to get where you need
Yep.
to get. But I just think it's gotten a bit absurd and blown over to have like 32 sugar-free syrups in your house and to need to add 4 or 5 things to your water to drink it.
Right. But here's
one pack,
right.
you know?
And here's where it kind of ties back into the other thing. I bet you if you look into these people, they are affiliates of
Oh,
that
100% they are.
syrup or that water packet or that whatever. So again, just watch
Be
what you're seeing,
critical.
question what you're seeing, and that's
Yes.
just be critical
Be
and use
critical.
your brain, right?
Because like I
Use your
also
brain.
bet if you looked into the flavoring packets, which by the way have been around since the dawn of goddamn time,
Yeah.
I bet you they have a suggested serving, and I can
Oh,
almost guarantee you
they
it's
do.
not 4 in one fucking drink.
No.
Because these people also
No.
drink multiple coffees and waters a day. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, I mean, I don't believe that like some of these artificial sweeteners are as bad as people say they are. I really don't subscribe to that. But I think when everything in moderation and when you're having
Yep.
4 a day
In one water and
every
you're having
day,
3 waters a day.
just I don't know, guys, check yourself. Chickadee, check yourself. It's I mean, not everybody that had bariatric surgery needs to do that. I will say I do like a Gatorade Zero packet every now and then. I do find I drink
Yep.
more when there's something in it, but I
It's just
find
nice to switch it up sometimes too.
I do half a pack of Crystal Light because I literally can't stand a full pack anymore. I'm like, ugh, God, I want to throw up.
Yeah.
One hot topic that this brings up that gets Hannah very heated, but I know it's something you and I have discussed is, and this is going to be a trigger for some people, the lack of transparency around GLP-1s.
Hey.
And GLP-1 is Ozempic or
Wegovy.
Mounjaro. Yeah, it is the weight loss injections. Now, we're not here to talk about our beliefs on those because we actually think it's
No.
great. We actually think using them is awesome and they've helped a million people and we're not against them.
Nope.
What I am fucking against is how many influencers are now not being transparent that they're on them. And a ton of fucking bariatric influencers are not admitting they're on them. And this pisses me off for multiple reasons. One, we are trying to break down the stigma and shame of weight loss surgery by talking about it more. So how does hiding something that is part of your successful journey in any way help us break down stigma and shame? And two, don't you fucking tell me this is what I eat in a day as a bariatric patient 5 years post-op, and then not also say, oh, by the way, I'm also on Ozempic. So, because that is not what people who aren't on Ozempic would be eating. And it is not fair and not okay to, again, be shady and misleading by not telling people I'm also on Ozempic. So Ozempic limits your hunger noise. It restricts, your hunger and what you want to eat. So that is what really enrages me when I see these people barely eating 5 or 6 years post-op because they're not telling people, oh, by the way, it's because I'm on Ozempic.
Yeah. And again, no judgment to those who
No,
are. If
give a fuck.
that's what you want to do, perfect.
Do
If
it.
that's what's working for you, incredible.
Yeah.
And like we've talked about, once you hit the maintenance phase, sometimes it can be a challenge. Or if your goal weight is a little bit less than the maintenance phase. Or
Totally
for
fine.
us, for example, you had VSG, which you typically lose a little bit less than bypass. If you just can't get to that last goal and you want to go that route, amazing. Go for it. I hope you
Knock the
succeed
socks
and
off.
it does what you need. But like you said, then be honest about it because your portions are changing. The amount of
Yes,
food you want to eat is changing. Your cravings are changing. Your
sure.
hunger noise is changing. Everything is changing.
Sure.
So you're giving people a false sense of hope who are watching this as either a pre-bariatric patient, a new bariatric patient, or anybody in the bariatric community who is watching you have this extra push of success, which is great. I'm so happy for you. But just be honest. And if you're that ashamed or you're that scared to admit that you're taking those medications, then get off social media.
Yeah,
Then
then
don't
stop being
post.
an influencer in this space and stop
Right.
telling me what you eat in a day because I don't give a fuck that you take Ozempic. I honestly
No.
might take Ozempic. I have
Right.
a weight loss goal I'm trying to hit. Things have slowed down a little bit. I'm going to keep trying to push myself to do it on my own, but I have no problems with Ozempic. I'll fucking take it.
Yeah.
Hands up, high five. It's fucking incredible. My argument and anger is that you're lying about your weight loss journey and you're making people feel bad. I watched an influencer, and this is what started this, post a what I eat in a day, and then was like, well, I didn't really eat this or finish this. And I was like, oh my God, how is this 5 year
She was barely
post op?
eating.
Yeah, how is this 5 year post op VSG patient eating twice a day? I was like, do you know how bad that made me feel? I was like, well, I eat my 3 meals and my 3 small snacks like I'm
You're like, what am I
supposed
doing
to.
wrong?
And I felt like a fat piece of shit. Like the mental obesity never leaves you. So I see this and go, oh my God, I'm overeating 2 years post-op. Like she's 5 years and she's only having 2 small
Yeah.
meals. Oh my God, I'm failing. I'm doing it wrong. Oh no. And then
Yeah.
then I found out that she's on fucking Ozempic. And I was like,
Let-
you son of a bitch. Like you
Yeah.
should have told me that this is what I eat in a day, 5 years post-op on Ozempic. Honestly, 5 years post-op no longer matters. This is not what I eat as a bariatric patient. This is now
No.
what I eat as an Ozempic patient who also
Exactly.
happened to have bariatric surgery.
Exactly.
And that's how it needs to be framed because this is not what normal bariatric eating looks like unless you're also on Ozempic. And like that's really dangerous. And it's multiple huge influencers in the bariatric space are on Ozempic and not actively admitting it in their what I eat in a days. They like casually slip it into other videos. And I don't think that's fair.
No,
I
or
think
gets buried in the comments somewhere in a massive thread down below. And it's just, again, the transparency is lacking. You're
100%
setting
lacking.
unrealistic expectations for people.
You
You
make
have
people
people like,
feel bad.
yeah, you have people like me who are new to this watching you going, holy shit, she still barely eats. Like 5 years out, is that what my life's going to be like?
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
Yep. And it's like, okay, I guess I better stop eating because they're not eating. And like, again, that's why
Right.
I really liked eating VSG because she posts, I run, I do this, and here's what I'm eating. And she's eating 6 meals a day. And I went, yeah, that seems doable. Like,
Right.
just be honest about,
Yeah.
just say, this is what I'm doing as an Ozempic patient who also had bariatric surgery. Because
Right.
the truth is, you're not a bariatric patient first now. You are now an Ozempic patient first who had bariatric surgery. That's all you have to say. You don't have to go into your life story about why you chose to do it. Again, don't give a fuck. Do what you want to do. You take that Ozempic, you rock it, bitch, because they're rocking it. They're killing it.
They are.
But I'm very angry that you're trying to pretend that this is all bariatric surgery, and it's fucking not. And it now makes bariatric patients feel like failures or losers or like they can't do it on their own. And that's what's really frustrating. And then the other very dangerous thing about this is now you're basically saying the only way that you are able to be successful is to eat basically next to nothing. And that is terrifying to me. As someone who
It's so dangerous to put that out there.
I'm already struggling with it. It makes me wonder, like, why are we encouraging breaking the rules? Like the rules were pretty clear for me. Eat whole
They're there
food,
for a reason.
eat between 1200 and 1500, work out every day for a minimum of 30 minutes, do strength training, but like you need to be working out. And why are we encouraging breaking the rules? And why are we saying the only way to be successful is to eat next to nothing, starve yourself? It's to, the other thing is like they barely work out. Why aren't we sharing that side of your life? Because that was a huge part of this was like, Hannah,
move your
you
body,
must work
your
out
body
every day. And they would ask me in every follow-up, how often are you working out? You need more strength training. You need to be working out more. Let's go.
Even post-surgery, 1 hour after surgery, get up, let's go, move your body, get it going,
move.
In the days after surgery, every 15 minutes, get up. Even if it's a lap of your kitchen, move your
Shake your tail feather. Let's get going.
And there's so many people, the influencer we were talking about earlier, who had that what I eat in a day with the nothing, will flat out say she does not. So her words are, I don't exercise, I walk. And I don't want to downplay walking because
walking is
so underrated. It is probably one of the most underrated exercises out there. So walking is a must. But where's the rest?
Where's the rest?
Where's the rest of your cardio? Where's your strength training? Where are the weights?
Yeah. Because like I can tell you, that's what we're told to do in Canada. To be successful, to watch the loose skin. And like the other thing is there's some influencers who are great. And then there's some who I sometimes have said, and I'm not trying to be a bitch, oh boy, they look gaunt. Like they
don't look healthy.
Yeah. And like, so the clinic was clear, like you're going to have loose skin. Girl, you're losing a whole person. But in order to try to make sure it's not as like bad and noticeable, lift
your muscle,
fucking weight.
Build your
but also
muscle.
With extreme weight loss comes muscle decay, and you don't want that. You need to keep your muscles functioning and healthy and going. We're not eating enough to sustain. Like that's the big thing. You're not eating enough to sustain a lot of stuff if you don't do this other work at the same time. So walking is great, by the way. In my life, I've lost weight walking when I was at my leanest before surgery. Walking, love it. But I wasn't walking 10 minutes. I was walking 10 kilometers. I was doing at least an hour and a half. I wasn't doing it every day, but I would do 5K, 5K, 10K, 5K, 5K, 10K. And like religiously doing that 5 kilometers.
And that's all you can do post-op. You can't do anything else post-op. So walking is your only option. So
a lot of influencers are working out really well. I will say I love, I'm going to butcher her name, but Flush It Away. I can never remember her name.
I can't either.
I think it's Flushy It Away, but like, I like that she always posts like, here's me running, here's me walking, here's my strength training. Like this girl hit that fucking exercise hard when she's had the most amazing success. And like, I have to say, she does really good with posting like realistic eating and all that jazz. So like she'll post it. I don't like influencers who don't post their exercise. And because I'm not here to judge your exercise, but it is part of the bariatric journey. So why aren't you showing it? Because you can't get complacent and just not work out. Again, if you're on Ozempic, that's a whole other story, right? Then you need to disclose I'm on Ozempic. I'm not really working out because I'm using something else for weight loss. But for the rest of us, you have to work out for the rest of life. It's just not going to be, unless you want to hit maintenance phase and just stay where you're staying. And so I do get really mad when I see people go walking on my walking pad for 10 minutes today. And it's like,
it's a great add-on,
but it's not enough.
No, there's another good one. She's on TikTok, Finding M's, like EMZ.
Oh, okay.
She's in Australia. I want to say Australia. But she posts a lot about her food, but she also posts a lot about her workout. And she's one of the people where part of it is genetics, part of it is luck, but a big part of it is her workout. And she focuses on just cardio, but also strength. And her loose skin situation is like my ideal hope of what I could look like. And she works her ass off.
Yep.
And she now, like you, she's a runner. She's doing Ironmans. She's doing triathlons.
Yep.
But she started with the walking and the weights. And she has had such phenomenal success. And she's honest about it. And she's open about it. And she's phenomenal. But that's walking. Like I said, walking's great. I have a walking pad, but that's not my main go-to. That's for, I need to get a few extra steps in, or I have a really long call for work. Let's bust out the walking pad. But the weights are the priority.
Yeah.
And like you said, A walk at the beginning, all you can do is a 2-minute walk, and that's great. But once you're more into the throes of things, saying I went for a 10-minute walk
It's not
is
enough.
not enough.
Also, it's
It's
going to
not
be,
enough.
you're welcome back to obese Hannah. You can't work out twice a week and think that's enough. Like, it's
Why
just,
am I not losing weight?
but
Why?
then
Yeah.
you know what? They're not eating and they're breaking the rules. So they don't have the fucking energy to work out. Like, I want
Yeah.
to be fit and healthy. I don't want to be skinny
Yeah.
and gaunt and barely
No.
eating. That is not a life I want to live. If it is for
No.
you, good for you, but maybe just be honest about that. But like, another great one, I'll give another shout out to one more person, but her name is Carolyn, we'll put it in the notes, Carolyn,
Yeah.
RNY.
She's awesome.
I fucking love her. And she puts GLP-1 in her fucking Instagram title. She lists the
Yes.
date she started it. She has a whole
Yep.
video on why I started it if I had that bariatric surgery. And again, I don't give a fuck about your reasonings. Hers was awesome. Like, she hit her goal weight, but really wanted to get a bit lower, and this helped her. But
Yeah.
she will post her home workouts, her gym workouts, her what I eat in a day, what I finished of it. Fucking love her. What an inspirational influencer. I want to fucking be her one day. My big argument is about this rule breaking and not following the rules. I am really tired of people pushing the boundaries and promoting it as this is real. You know exactly who I'm going to bring up, and I'm not going to list them by name, but there is
Or then
someone
complaining about how shitty they feel. Well,
there's no
duh.
badge for vomiting in the parking lot or that your
No.
chest hurts because you did this. Like, you aren't following the rules. Stop pretending like it's okay to break the rules. You know what?
No.
You can break the rules in bariatric surgery. You can not vomit. You can feel okay. I'll be
Yep.
honest. I ordered chicken wings, probably
It's
more
gonna
than I should,
happen.
because I was
It's
like, they're
gonna
kind of high
happen.
protein and they're easy to eat. Should I fucking be eating takeout chicken wings? No. Just
No.
because there were no negative ramifications, I stopped myself and said, Hannah, what's going to happen in 2 years when you can eat more and you're still ordering food? You know the rules, follow the rules. So there's someone on TikTok who blatantly flaunts the rules. We're talking like 2 weeks after having surgery.
I was going to say newly
New,
post-op.
fresh
And we're
baby.
all, here's the deal.
Fresh incisions.
We're all going to make mistakes. We're all going to screw up. Look at our
my
past.
God.
Like we
Oh my
talked about
God,
in our
yes.
last episode. Look at how we got to where we were, okay?
Yep.
We lied. We hid food. We cheated. We did things we weren't supposed to.
Yep.
Are we working on improving that? You damn well betcha. Are we trying our best to not go down those paths again? Yes. But it's going to happen. We're human. But like you said, my problem is posting about it, encouraging other people to do it, and then crying about it and having a sob story of, whoa, feel bad for me because I now feel like I'm dying.
Yeah,
well no shit. You had Doritos and Coke for lunch 3 weeks post-op.
That person, I just
drives
can't.
me nuts.
Like, and it's multiple
It's every day.
Diet Cokes. Diet Cokes have sugar. At least do a fucking sugar-free, for Christ's sake. But you're not supposed to have carbonation until after 6 months for a fucking reason. Stop drinking multiple Diet Cokes. Stop eating multiple bags of Doritos and then getting McDonald's and then doing Chinese takeout and then lying to your doctor and pretending you only had one bad thing instead of listing, hey, over the last 2 weeks, here's all the takeout and bad foods I've had 3 fucking weeks out of surgery. So,
and then coming on TikTok about, oh, I feel so bad.
I threw up in the parking lot.
I feel like I'm dying. My head is pounding. Okay, no shit.
Oh, and not taking their vitamins because they just don't want to. And they know people who didn't take their vitamins and they
they're
were fine. So I'm not going to take mine. And it's like, okay, your first year, you're probably going to lose some weight because it's almost impossible not to. You are going to absolutely fail in your second year and gain it all back. You're not exercising because we can see it. You're eating like shit.
I don't want to follow her because I don't want to give her the follows.
No, I don't.
But I also
can't look away.
Exactly. And I want to watch her because I want to see a year from now what her journey looks like. And I don't wish ill upon people, but it's just so infuriating to watch somebody post this and then like have people say, oh, you're keeping it real. Thanks for being honest. Okay, like I said, if you mess up once, sure, post about it. But say, look it, guys, I shouldn't have done this. This is not the rules I'm supposed to be following. I feel like crap because of it. I've learned my lesson. Okay, fine. But to then continually every day, and she always starts her day saying, I'm going to do this. I'm going to have this. I'm going to be good. I'm going to be here. And then at lunch, sure as shit, here comes the video of, oh, I don't feel like leaving my desk and going to do whatever for lunch today. So I just busted out the Coke and Doritos. It's only this number of calories.
Not even sugar-free, no protein. And then Like, didn't follow any of the rules, though. It was like, I like to break the rules. I like to push things. I'm having raw vegetables. I'm eating ground beef. And it's like, you are setting such a terrible fucking example for others. There's nothing to be proud of breaking the rules because, again, you're going to break the rules now and probably not see the repercussions of that now because it is not a one for one. You can eat you can eat chips right now in your first year and not see the negative effects. It is going to fucking catch up with you when your cholesterol the roof, when at the end of 1 year, you're like, I can't wait to see a video of I'm stalling and I don't know why, but like eventually you will hit a point where you're non-tracking and non-vitamin taking and constant need for takeout and sugar is going to cause you to stop losing weight.
Yeah. There's your 30% of people who regain.
Yeah. And it's annoying because like, did they go to the doctor and did they tell the doctor they had one bad thing instead of all the bad things? Yeah. And then the doctor said, oh, that's fine. Which it is because we all
because we all mess up.
Did I try to have a scoop of ice cream a month after surgery? I did. And then I vomited profusely in my bathroom and never touched it again because it was horrible.
Right. Lesson learned.
You know, did I get butternut squash soup, even though people said, you probably shouldn't because it's got a lot of sugar. And I was like, fuck you, it's butternut squash. And then proceeded to vomit. But I did not break the rules and then try to pretend like it was totally fine. And that's, I think, what annoys me is stop pretending that this is fine. Stop going out and justifying shitty behavior and saying you don't need to take vitamins and you don't need to listen to the surgical team. You're less than a month out of surgery or 2 months out. You don't get to have an opinion on breaking the rules on bariatric surgery.
No.
And everybody, there are people calling her out, thank goodness, but a lot of comments are like, thank you so much for being so real. I'm going to have a burger, or I broke the rules too. Thanks so much. And it's like, guys, this leads into our one of our final points here. Make sure you find influencers that are actually doing things that are good. And that might mean that you're watching an influencer where you're like, oh man, do I have to put everything in my fitness pal? Yeah, you do.
Yes.
Okay. Because this is not easy and it shouldn't be easy. If you're coasting through it and eating whatever you want,
you're not doing it right.
You're in for trouble and your old habits will come back. Look at influencers that have been 2, 3, 4, 5 years post, and they will all have stories telling you, oh boy, did my voice come back. Oh boy, did my hunger come back. Oh boy, is this a journey? And I'll talk about it in other podcasts about my struggles and my hunger noise and, you know, days of maybe overeating or slider foods. But do not go on the internet and pretend that this is okay. And that's my issue with this creator. They don't say, oh man, I shouldn't have done this. And guys, please learn from me and I'm going to do better. They consistently do this day over day and think it's totally fucking fine. They brag about how good this, like they brag about, I don't follow the rules because people have said, how are you allowed to do this? My doctor said no. And they're like, well, I just don't listen.
Right.
This is like, you're blatantly saying I'm an idiot. And you think that is good?
It goes back to building the habits right away. Like you said, putting my things in my fitness pal. I hate it. It drives me nuts, but I do it every day. I'm putting my stuff in that I ate that day. And then at night before bed, I put in my next day. Am I an amazing meal prepper right now? No. Do I need to spend more time improving on that? 100% I do.
Yep.
But I'm tracking and I'm planning out a day in advance, which for now, I'm just working on getting in that muscle memory of put it in. But it goes back into building those habits now so that when you are at that 12 months, it's just the norm. It's just your everyday lifestyle. You don't have to think about it. It just becomes part of your daily routine. And if you're building those horrible habits now, when you hit that 12-month point, because like you said, it's almost impossible not to lose weight right now because physically you're in a deficit no matter what.
Listen, I ordered chicken wings and was like, I'm losing weight eating chicken wings.
100%.
Bitch.
But this is going to become their new norm. And this is going to become their daily routine. And once they hit that point, I hate to say it, but look out. They are going to fail.
They're a reason
going to gain the weight back. And I don't want to hear the sob story.
No, and I don't want you bringing other people down. There's a reason that we were obese in the first thing. And like one big thing I did after the whole chicken wing debacle in my first year, I deleted the ordering apps off my phone. I do not order delivery food. Now I order delivery groceries because I had pneumonia and there's just days I can't get out and get groceries. But I do not order takeout food anymore because it's just not good for you. Now, can you make chicken wings at home? Go for it. I've done it.
Right?
I've made tacos at home. I've made quesadillas.
Oh my
I've done
gosh.
high quality burritos,
You can
like
make
high
so much
protein.
of these things at home.
You can still eat things you want to eat. We're not saying don't have a burger. I make the cutest little sliders, and they're only 100 calories for the whole burger.
I've had tacos
and they're
so many
15
times in
grams
the
of
last.
protein.
Yeah,
Like, they're
tacos. I'm
so
not giving
good.
up tacos. I'm sorry.
Fuck no,
I'm
I eat
not giving up
popcorn.
tacos.
Popcorn's my jam.
Oh,
I
I
still
can't
make
wait for
nachos.
popcorn.
I use Quest chips
Yep.
for my tortillas, and I still
Yeah.
make nachos. What I'm saying is, do not pretend that eating fast food is smart. And people have said, girl, why did you even have surgery then? Fast food is what got you here. Stop doing, and you're not even making healthy choices. I do every now and then on a road trip need to get fast food because nothing's available. I'll get the grilled nuggets. I'll get, I'll get an egg breakfast sandwich and take the English muffin. Like, I'll do what I need to do to get through that stage.
You'll make it work.
But anyway, we're not, we sound bitter and bitchy. We're not trying to, it's just like, we would have more sympathy for this person if they weren't blatantly saying that they didn't give a shit and that they were breaking the rules and that they thought this was totally fine. And it's just,
it makes me wonder. It makes me wonder, like we talked about with our program, how we had to have all those appointments. I would be really curious to see what appointments, if any, they had in theirs, or if they were just one of those situations where they just went in, they paid for it, and it was done. I'd be really curious to see that.
After surgery, we had to give food journals for months after surgery. This person did not in their doctor's follow-up, and it was just annoying because they said, well, I had this one thing. No, you didn't. You didn't, because I've been watching your TikToks. You didn't tell them about your multiple pops, your multiple Doritos, your takeout food, your Chinese food, your McDonald's. You didn't tell them that you're eating raw vegetables and having high-fat bacon. Like, if you maybe told him everything, I bet you he'd be alarmed.
Yeah, and like you said, we don't want to sit here. I don't want to sit here and sound all bitchy and bitter. But
I don't want to shit on her.
If there was some accountability, if there was, I'm going to say a little bit of guilt and remorse, if there was clear visualization of them improving, if we could see them, or you know what, if they come out and say, look, guys, I need your help. Like, come in the comments for me and help me do better. Give me tips, give me pointers, send me your recipes. If there was some indication that they were acknowledging that this is not okay, this is not what surgery is supposed to do and look like, then I would support you 100%. And I would be in those comments trying to help you out, because that's what we should all be here for, is to help and support each other.
Exactly.
But when you don't give a shit, I'm out.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, folks, like, she clearly doesn't give a shit, because she'll constantly be like, oh, well, I'm not listening. I'm not following, like, whatever, like, ooh. And then posted a big video being like, see, guys, I'm totally fine. Like, nothing is wrong with what I'm doing. And I was like, bitch. Like, have a little bit of self-observation here. Don't you come out posting a video saying, basically, fuck all you guys, I'm totally fine. And that was kind of my final straw, was like, you lied, so in that appointment, you're not. And also, like, I don't like promoting such an unhealthy lifestyle when you're a bariatric patient, because it, like, the risk of all of the things you're doing, the fact that you haven't had a negative outcome is lucky, because a lot of people end up in the hospital with major blockages, perforations, twisted bowels, malnutrition. Like, if you don't take your vitamins, it doesn't catch up with you tomorrow. It catches up with you in a few months when you have to go to the hospital. And even her doctor in the video said this doesn't happen instantly, but like, when it happens, it's incredibly dangerous to have to deal with, like, vitamin deficiencies. Like, he said, it will change your life to be vitamin deficient.
Just to clarify, she recorded her doctor's appointment and posted it on TikTok.
We weren't just magically in the room when this happened. Anyway,
she posted it.
I don't want to be this person that just, like, shits and brings someone down, but I think this person needs help. I don't think social's the best place for them to be. I think they're trying to justify really bad behavior. My problem with influencers is they often don't want to hear the criticism, and no one was being mean. No one was saying, fuck you, blah, blah, blah. Like, people were voicing, but influencers never really want to hear the criticism, and they always delete the comments or shut it down and only focus on self-serving comments that, again, justify their bad behavior. So this all gets wrapped up to say, please just be smart when looking at influencers. Be very critical, look into things. Don't buy everything you're seeing or believe everything you're seeing. Follow them for fun and inspiration, but do not let them become your nutritionists. Do not let them become your therapists. Do not let them become your sole guiding force. Please speak to actual medical professionals. Be honest. like a doctor is never in the bariatric community, never going to shame you for being
No,
honest.
ask questions.
Don't be afraid to say, I'm falling off the wagon. Like they want you to be successful, but like you can't just avoid uncomfortable conversations because you don't want to. If you don't speak up, you become further in trouble and you want to be successful. So ask for help, admit when you're struggling. We're going to talk about it in a later podcast, but I struggle all the time. I've fallen off the wagon here and there. I'm going to talk all about my slider foods, my fucking ice cream vomiting, which is insane. But please just be critical of who you're following. Don't be mean. There's no need to go in and tell people to go fuck themselves or to be.
But ask the questions.
But be critical. You are allowed to go in and say, I really don't think you're supposed to be doing this. How is this beneficial for your journey? There's nothing wrong with that, but please don't be hostile. Do not wish ill on anyone. That's just not the community we need to build, because that is the community we've dealt with as obese individuals. And unfortunately, that's the bariatric community in some places, and it sucks. So influencers are great. There's a lot that aren't. Try to just be very critical is the message I'm going to end on.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I just say, ask the questions, ask them about their program, ask them, ask other people. Don't put all your focus and eggs into one basket and one person.
Yeah,
Use your judgment. Look at multiple resources, multiple areas. Ask your doctor. Ask the people who are in your program. Ask other people who have been in your program. I have connected with people on TikTok randomly, asked questions, found out that either we're in the same program or we're close by, and we've had little conversations about it. So just be intelligent.
Be curious.
Smart.
Be curious.
Yeah.
Be
question
curious.
what you're seeing.
Exactly.
And don't believe everything you see. And just know that there are people out there who are not going to give you the full picture.
Yeah, and that's okay. Like, social media is a minor snapshot of someone's day. Take it with a grain of salt. But yeah, I knew this was going to be a hot button issue, and in no way do we want anyone to feel like we're coming for them. But I think there were some conversations that had to happen. We'll link all the great influencers that we love to follow in the comments of our social posts when this episode goes live. And then we're really excited to announce next week's episode is going to be shame and stigma around bariatric surgery. This is a question that we've already gotten on TikTok about how people couldn't talk to family, couldn't tell people publicly, the stigma, the thoughts that this is easy and the easy way out. And so we're going to talk about a lot of things, from how to say goodbye to toxic people that need to not be in your life, how to talk to your family about this, and how maybe collectively as a community we can start breaking down the stigma of this being an easy way out.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one, because we both have had different experiences. You're further out than I am, so you've had to deal with it probably a little bit more than I have, as you've had more drastic changes, as your habits have changed, your interests have changed. But it's definitely been something that we've both had to deal with, and that as somebody who went through this and kind of got into it unexpectedly, as Hannah mentioned, it was recommended to me by my doctor at an appointment where I was not expecting it to come up. So there was some people who were caught very off guard when I brought this up to them as something I was considering. So
it'll be a good episode.
It'll be a good episode for sure.
Give us all the feedback you want. We want to grow and learn and become better and become, again, your Canadian BFFs that just talk about bariatric surgery and all the topics, whether they're uncomfortable or easy, as we go. And we're excited to see you next week. Steph, thanks for joining me again this week.
Absolutely love it. I can't wait to do the next topic. Can't wait to hear the feedback. And thank you all for listening in.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great week.
Bye.